Good afternoon, good evening, what time of day? Well, in the short, you just saw that I know something that you don't know. Today, I standing here, and there's this young immigrant. I guess one, yeah, speak Arabic. They didn't speak English. Walking Dollarama. This immigrant will try to walk out with merchandise he didn't pay for, and got caught by store security. Of course, I seen it, and I sort of, I gave what I told the police, everything I saw and that. The police officer tried to speak English, couldn't speak it, spoke Arabic. And nobody in the store knew Arabic whatsoever. Nobody, even the security guard, didn't know Arabic. And the security guard Dollarama didn't know Arabic either. So they turned around. So they and they tried to check her ID through CPIC or CID, it's called the Canadian Border Services. And that it's a person legal. Person been in Canada for about over 4 months. Been in Canada, and you know what? And had several of fines for shoplifting at various locations. Had fined for using counter Arabic currency. They have been paying for stuff with currency that is not, a country currency. I find her with counterfeiting, and guess what? She went and paid something Dollarama trying to use Arabic currency. Got caught now. Of course, they did that, and she turned around. I said, "The fines I get are not." Then she turned around and said, I know. Finally, somebody came by could speak her language, and she said this to the police officer. My currency good. It's good in over in it's good in over there in Islamabad. We're good in Islam. We're good here too. Why should I not be? Why is this going on? Why that going on? And nobody I understand word those people tell me. Anyways, that's one thing that guy translated English. Another thing is I got fined to print English. I can't read, and I will not pay a fine that's to print in my own language. Figure that out. She been refusing to pay fines in her own, refusing to pay any fines. Well, you know what? Cop translator not good enough for that. I have to take you in and book you in jail. And then I'm going to talk to immigration, see if they want to kick you out of the country. Well, anyways, after that, they took her away, and that's the end that too. Well, anyway, this was pretty interesting. When an immigrant refused to pay fine because not written in Arabic. How that is not good. Failed to learn the language. Didn't refuse to speak English. Refused to learn the language. So and she didn't follow instructions given by Canadian Border Service. So that means deportation. I can see her being deported out of the country permanently, kicked out of Canada for that. Anyway, so enough said about this. Is interesting. Listen to something like this because it shows. Same thing with me. Let's suppose I immigrated to Japan. I don't know Japanese. I had to learn Japanese. Well, same thing. I would pay in yens, but their currency, of course, not in Canadian currency. Anyway, so it would be nightmare me to do something like that, and a nightmare me because I don't know all the rules. So how would I feel if I did that? Let's suppose I moved to a country like Sweden. I don't know the rules in the EU. I don't know everything. So, but the country like Sweden, it could be banned. Could be no YouTubing allowed in certain areas of Sweden. It could be this. It could be that. But the problem is me not knowing how to speak, Spanish is going to be a nightmare. Hard for me to my age even learn the language. Are they all places I ever immigrated someplace? I immigrated where they would speak English. That Australia, the one country. England is another country. both places they speak English. So, and I probably wouldn't immigrate to the United States. I could, but I won't. And like I have not, and I have no plan to immigrate anyway. Because they're going to cost money, and it's not good. They're not a good idea right now to immigrate because I know I really love my country, Canada, and I wouldn't want to go anyplace else. But times of war, you know, just think of this. Imagine me sitting in my apartment, sitting here doing you. All of a sudden, the whole building shook by bomb, and all of a sudden, what happens? I'm sitting. All of a sudden, my world is turned upside down with the war happening in Canada. All of a sudden, turned upside down. I'd be then refugeeing. Then that point overnight, I became a refugee, being forced to flee my own country in that point, forced to flee the United States and be get there. When I got to the United States, then I forced to come, but the United States wouldn't want me. Forced to, then the only people that came into play here would be and Japan said we will accept the refugee from the Canadian Russia Canada war. We accept them. You know what I'm talking about? So they all of a sudden are thrust into Japan, trying to learn the language, trying to fit into a culture I know nothing about. It's going to be not easy. It'd be very confusing. It'd be like a nightmare because, admit they have fast trains like Shinkansen, good ferry service, but still, would I, would I ever happen? Well, it could happen. Nobody planned to be a refugee in their life. I wouldn't want to be a refugee somewhere in a third world country, in a country that I'd be forced to go to learn a language under like all certain sense of war. Anyway, so honestly, there will be that's what I look at word refugee. Refugees are people who had to flee their own country because of war. You know, it can happen to anybody overnight. You could go to bed tonight, wake up to 3 o'clock in the morning to bombs falling from the sky, cruise missile hitting buildings, and all of a sudden you're in the middle of you're in the middle of war. No ifs and buttons. You are trying to flee the selling. You can't. And trying to flee, but you run and you keep running and you get killed. Or if you make it to a border to safety, then you're stuck at the border because it won't let you in at the war, etc. So then you are forced under, well, then that forces the United States on humanitarian right to accept. But if they don't, well, what I'm going to do next? Be sitting in a camp. I'll be so bad that not that all of a sudden people would come pile at the borders like crazy and start the war. I will try and get in, and some will be pushing. Some will literally beat the border guards and push in the United States like that. It will come like a Canadian flooding in the United States all at once. Well, you know what's going to happen next? The immigration has a hands full trying to round them up and report them back to Canada, but it being impossible. Then all of a sudden you got population there that have plead war, but they've done it legally, knowing they're going to get arrested someday and they're sent right back in the battlefield. Then every day I'll be worried I'm going to get picked up in immigration. Simple as that. Be sent back to the battlefield. Then all of a sudden he got picked, and then what happens is, and then people who get picked up will be sent back to the battlefield. Battle will be raging on, and people will be like, oh, again, see? All that, that's how bad war, that's how bad a war can be. Last night, I was watching some camera video footage from a security system. Nowhere. This video footage came out of Ukraine from a video surveillance system. I found the video on Android TV box, basically, by watching this attack on Ukraine like crazy. Well, they were attacking cargo ship, attacking everything with cruise missile, and they even sank uh, 2 ships full of containers. No darn what's no container. Matter of fact, it could be goods. Could be goods going to market somewhere in North America. Some people are probably not going to get a new vehicle, new ECMs or a car because of that. And the cruise ship was sitting there on the cold layover, was there in storage. It got sunk. My God, it's pretty bad. You know what? And honestly, I'm looking at it and I say, whoa. Like when they hit, what happened was when they hit the cruise ship, and it hit that missile cruise, it lit up bright. Like it was turned almost like white, turned all white and disappeared into thin air and came down quick. Like almost like Star Trek, but not the real case scenario. And of course, that is really bad. I thought coronavirus, this is even worse. Now, much I want to, 11 minutes here, I'm going to exit YouTube here. I'm going to say thank you and blog over. Don't forget to tune me in tomorrow from 3 to 3:30 on 93.3 CFU Hamlet, or go to cfu.ca and listen to Aboriginal music too. Have a nice night and have a good morning wherever you are in YouTube land.